Albert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Rental Store. Thank you for joining us on episode 275 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor and Damon. How's it going, guys?
275. That seems like it should be something.
Well, you always say that.
It's a number. I mean, it's 275.
I feel like whatever number it is, you're always like, that should be something. That should be a thing.
It's a quarter. There's 3/4 of the way past 200 to 300.
That's true. Yeah. Wait, so will we hit? Do we have 25 episodes left in this year? No, we probably don't, right?
No.
How many? No. So we're not going to hit 300 by the end of the year, but it'll be like early next year, right?
Yeah.
Unless we do some extra episodes, I guess. But so, Damon, I know
you wouldn't label them anyway.
What do you mean I wouldn't label them?
You wouldn't give them a number. It's really not 275.
No, we've done more episodes than that because we have the waitlist ones, and we decided not to number those a long time ago. So but you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could number them if we wanted to, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know. I was eating cereal, man.
Yeah,
cereal, light cereal, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I was eating pizza on an episode one time, so I can't really criticize.
I realize I don't do real milk anymore. That like coconut milk is it. Coconut milk and life cereal is kind of it.
Really?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I do that sometimes.
See, we always do the and I don't know, Trevor, if they have this in Canada, but we always do Fairlife milk because it doesn't have the have the lactose in it, and it's like thicker and yeah.
We do have lactose-free milk up here, yes. So,
well, this is just a specific brand. It's not like I was talking about that specific brand because it's a little bit different than like
we do have Fairlife as well, but I don't go for Fairlife. I'll go for other. Well,
because the Fairlife costs like $5 a bottle.
I mean, milk is expensive in general, but I don't know. I like this coconut milk a lot. It's the yogurt people make it.
The
Chobani,
okay,
yeah, but it's good, and it, like I said, it keeps forever, which is always a plus.
Well, it's the same with the Fairlife stuff.
I mean, I'm really only on here because I got to go to tennis in like 10 minutes, but I'm really only on here to talk about the bags.
Oh, you just want to talk about the bags? Okay.
I mean, no one's getting one because I've now decided that I'm keeping them. I mean, you guys are getting them, but you do whatever you want with them. But
so you're not gonna raffle any off or auction any off? No,
they came out too nice. I mean, you guys can raffle yours off. I'm not raffling any of mine off. I don't know what to tell you. They came out too nice.
They do look really good, yeah.
Oh, they came out really nice. Really.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing them in person.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I found boxes, so I mean, I think we'll be good. I think I'll be able to get them out next week. I mean, I think they'll be on their way to you. I mean, obviously, Tom will get his way before Trevor, but,
Yeah, I'll see mine maybe by Christmas.
No, it won't be that bad.
No, it's not that long. I mean, but yeah, it's funny sometimes where like sometimes I'll get stuff like a day or two after you, Tom, and then other times it's like 3 weeks. Like it's just weird. It's wonderful.
It's probably just a customs thing, right?
It is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's kind of if you catch a customs officer on a bad day, they'll just like hold on to your package for 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, you at least have them before the holidays. That's good, I guess.
That's good. Yeah. Before your next trip.
When's your next trip?
My next trip's in May. So
no, you're good. You're covered.
Yeah.
It should be good by then. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be covered by then. I mean, again, you guys now have to beg Tom and Trevor if they want to raffle one of their bags off.
We still have hats, actually. We still have hats to give away. Yeah. I've been meaning to give away hats to people for a while here. So
the problem was that the bags were just so expensive that it becomes a little prohibitive to but they're nice. The OGO one's nice. I tell you, that one's nice. My wife saw it and she's like, ooh, where'd that bag come from? And I was like, yeah, it came out nice.
Yeah, they do look good. They look good.
Yeah, I mean, I looked over what you guys are talking about. I have no interest in any of that. I mean, besides the new hotel, maybe. I mean,
well, potentially.
Potentially.
We're still talking about the same thing we've been talking about. So
for years.
Well, yeah. So, and thanks to someone posted this in the Discord. But so what we're talking about is that, there's been a lot of hints. Disney's been filing a lot of permits around the site of with a project that was, called Reflections, which, it might still be Reflections. I don't know.
Never know.
But yeah, you never know. But they just filed another permit with the tourism oversight district, and it's specifically for, again, this area for a project they're calling Project S. So who knows what that means? But
S.
Yeah, but it's
so
them
moved
running
from R to S. Okay,
yeah, exactly. Right? Wouldn't that be funny if they're just like, oh, we'll just move it one letter? That'll throw them off. But and so this permit though is for it looking like electrical services there, right? I mean, that's kind of what it seems like based on what I'm reading here. So I really feel like this is still happening. I said this before D23 that I thought that Reflections is going to happen.
But is it going to be Reflections? I mean, I think now with all the new things that they introduced, like, man, why can't we just get a Villains Hotel?
Just straight up Villains Hotel? Yeah.
Villains.
I feel like it's a weird place for it, though, because it's in the woods and,
Haunted River Country. I mean, I think we've laid it out for them, but I mean, other than that.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they actually did Haunted River Country? That'd be...
I'd be so mad. Like, I would be... I don't even think I'd be happy. I'd just be mad.
You'd just be contacting your lawyer?
No, I mean, it's their property, and I mean, their IP. There'd be nothing I'd be able to do, so I would just be mad, I think, more than anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, and if there's any listeners that don't know about Haunted River Country, go back to, a long time ago. I don't even know what episode it was that came up.
That's what Gen AI is for.
I guess so.
Maybe we should consider rerunning the shirts for people if there's enough interest. Yeah. I'll throw that out there on this episode. Yeah.
Yeah. People like those. We'll do what they used to do with the Disney Vault, where they, would lock the video away in the Disney Vault, never to come out again, and then a couple years later, it's back out again, right?
Only in purple though.
Oh,
you can get a shirt, but it's only purple.
It's just why purple?
I mean, then you don't mess with the OG people.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, but I mean, the OG ones, I think, they could pick any color they wanted, right? Or within the limits of whatever the store had.
Yeah. But I think Dan's going to be upset about the bags.
You think so? Dan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, think if anyone's going to be upset. I mean, I'm telling you, you guys are going to see them. They came out so nice.
Yeah.
So if you know what, here, we'll make this easy. If anyone can guess exactly how much all the bags cost down to the penny, then we'll give one out.
It's like the jelly bean game, It's like, how many jelly beans? It's the jelly bean game. Yeah. How many jelly beans are in this jar? All right. I like it. I like that game. That's a good one. So they just need to post that in the Facebook group then?
Sure. And it has to be for... Yeah.
It's just going to be number posts.
For the three... So it has to be for all three sets of the bags, not for one individual. So you have to literally say what the invoice was for.
Well, so how many total bags are there? Yeah, the total cost of the order. Should we tell them how many bags there were?
We can, but here's the problem. I got I didn't want to tell you guys, but I got another bag for myself.
It's fine. You're allowed to get a bag for you.
Oh, and you know what? I'm even going to give them a hint. The bag that I got, you know what I ended up getting was another. I really did this in the spirit of the podcast because I got a crossbody, but I got a cheap one. And I said to myself, I said, if we were really ever to do bags as a thing, right? Hey, let's actually get crossbody bags. I wanted to pick the cheapest one we could buy and see what the quality was like. Cause remember, I have that OGO crossbody, which is super nice. I was like, I just want to kind of see. So I will say that bag was $30. So I'm going to help out here.
There you go.
So there's 9 bags plus the $30 bag.
Okay.
So, and I, again, on a separate discussion when we guys get to talk again ourselves, that may be the bag that we end up doing for instead of hats the next time.
What, the crossbody bag?
Yeah, it came out nice, like I said, but it was a cheap, not cheap. I mean, it was a lower cost crossbody bag instead of an OGO. And I just wanted to see, like I said, and it came out pretty nice. So I think that's what we would probably do going forward because no one's getting the OGO bags that we got. I mean, they're just so nice. Even the guy at the place was like, why are you getting these super nice bags? And I'm like, because DCL Duo has really nice bags. And he was like, what? And I'm like, oh, forget it. It's okay. Like,
instead of keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with DCL Duo.
Exactly.
That's funny. I didn't realize that was the reason why, but I remember you said that because you saw their bags.
Yeah, I saw their bags on the cruise, and they were just so nice. I felt like I felt lesser of a podcast because of it. I'll be honest with you. Like my feelings were a little hurt. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like their bags are really nice. I'm going to tell them now that like if we ever see them again, our bags are now nicer. But I mean, the bags were nice.
Bag competition. They got some nice hats too. They got some nice hats too. I have to say.
I mean, our hats are average. I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's hard, right? Because you gotta like. Figure out
be cost effective.
It's that balance between like, we can't do the crazy expensive stuff because then, if we're putting it out to our listeners, one, nobody's going to buy the crazy expensive stuff. And two, we can't offer it at a loss either. Right. So
exactly.
If you want to buy a $60 hat, then sure, we can do it.
I don't buy $60 hats for myself. So
I think that the nice part about it now is that they have over at the place that we've been using, which again, the guy's super nice. They have everything. So like if we want to do like one-off runs of anything, like we're kind of covered. I think that's the good part about doing different things. We could do one-off runs now for things, which is
that's nice. Yeah,
which is good, which is definitely good. So, I mean, that's all I had. I got to go to tennis.
All right.
Dude, not only do I have to go to tennis this week, like I don't expect to not be going to tennis until November. Oh, wow. I'm just letting everyone know, like up front, like it's been kind of busy. I have 2 kids at school, right, in college. And my daughter made varsity tennis, which we didn't expect as a freshman, which is a lot. It's a lot. So, and she's still playing tournaments. So, we're kind of busy, but, we'll get back there before the holidays, I'm sure. And I'm going to try to jump on when I can for a few minutes here and there. But I did look over the thing. And then again, these guys are going to talk about food. Nobody, I don't care. You can run your stupid food song.
You missed the last episode. So
I heard my food song.
You don't like my food song?
The thing is that it would have been better if like you did it. Like if you did the food, yes.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't sing though. Like,
so I have it actually spurred me to do an actual Golden Button Detours intro song.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Which I have to record final on because I'm actually recording.
You're gonna sing it?
Well, it's either going to be me or my son. There's been some debate. Like he's at school and he wanted to do it, and he made fun of me for trying to do it. But then he was like, "I don't know if I have time to do it, so I'm not sure." But it will be one of us doing it. He'll mix it for me if nothing else. But it will be one of us. But then again, who knows when there's going to be a Golden Button Detour? I don't even know what to talk about anymore.
I get it.
So we'll see. But
listen, if I could sing, I would do it. Right. Like, but I'm not a singer. Like, it's just not.
That's okay. That's the whole, that doesn't need to be like.
I've also lended my voice to many things around this podcast before. Like the Halloween opening is me. The original opening was me before I hired a voice actor to do the voice.
That's what I'm saying. So that song should be you too. I mean, if you're going to have a food song, you got to lean into it.
Yeah. I thought about it. Don't get me wrong. Once I heard how it came out, I thought about like doing it myself, like singing it myself.
Jim Cummings to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you could set that up. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know if I can get Jim Cummings to do it, but I bet you I could get somebody to do it. I mean, I have to. You know what? The next time we get, I get an interview from like a Disney person. Yeah, right. Somebody from Disney. I'll see if I can get them to do our song. That will be what I'll try.
Okay,
we'll see how that goes.
All right,
but you guys have a good show talking about food.
Will do.
Thanks.
I mean, I don't disagree with Damon that I should record the song myself. Like, I wish I like had voice talent and I could do this. You know what I mean? I'm not a good singer, and
that's the thing. Like, I'm the same way. It's like I know rhythm and I know what a song should sound like, but I know that my voice cannot generate those sounds. Yeah. So it's like, I would never volunteer to sing something willingly either.
Well, at least Damon liked the song. He just thought I should do it myself. So, but anyway, it's funny because I found myself every once in a while playing that song to myself because I just like, it's a fun song. Yeah, I actually tried. I tried to write a Reckless Speculation song for today, and it just it didn't come out good.
We we don't have to necessarily get like everything first shot. Like we can
do. Yeah. No, that's true.
we have to do everything first time.
No. I thought you were saying we don't need to have a song for everything. No. I'm like, no, I think we do.
I think it can be iterative where, we try things and see what works and what doesn't work. So, I guess, people know this about the show. We are always like trying stuff and, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. And I feel like Food Time worked. No one complained about hating it. So listen, even if somebody hated it, I enjoyed it. And that's what matters to me. So.
And now we have something every time we want to lead into, talking about food, right?
Yeah. The other thing, so I actually had made a song and it was like, you're going to laugh at this. It was like a nu metal, like kind of song.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was kind of great because it was like, reckless speculation. I was like, yeah, I like this, but it didn't. The rest of the lyrics didn't come out the way I wanted them to. So I just didn't like the lyrics. They weren't as funny as the other ones. I want them to be funnier.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work on that though. We'll have it eventually. But the reason I was going to do it was for this reflections thing that we kind of just touched on because I feel like there's just too much evidence at this point, right? Like,
so
why do they keep filing? Why do they keep filing permits if they're not going to do it?
So funny enough, when you first said that the name of the project was Project S, I started looking for synonyms for reflections, and one of the ones that came up was actually speculation.
Oh, okay.
So, speculation, the resort.
That's why they called it Project S, project to make them speculate about what's going in this spot. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said though, like I feel like it's just too much. There's too much smoke. There's got to be some fire here, right?
Yeah,
it's just weird that they haven't said anything yet. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, again, you need to think about it from. We know this about Disney. Like, I guess, anybody, like we've been doing this long enough that for me, I do see patterns in how they behave with their marketing and whatnot, where, we just had D23. They're not going to start dropping like even DVC stuff. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, we're going to wait a week and then we're going to drop information about like reflections or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, obviously they do pace themselves, and I'm sure, it is possible this is something because we have the year end like town hall coming up, right? Like it's usually in December.
Sure.
And it's not always like, it's not specifically for that, but they do, like, as they get towards the year end, they will announce stuff. So, maybe in like, October, November timeframe, like this could be them, getting everything sorted that they can actually turn around and say, yeah, we have a resort coming because permits are filed, and, it's not going to be a blue sky like we'd like to do this thing. Like, I think Disney is trying to, they've taken a lot of flack for,
sure.
Doing too much of the blue sky stuff lately, which, is understandable. But, I feel like they're kind of like they want to make sure that they have like very solid, like this is already greenlit, ready to go. And then, hey, we're, the next resort will be in, 2027 or whatever, right? Like,
I think you're totally right that they're just waiting for this to be greenlit but what's interesting though is the same kind of permit is exactly what they filed right before they started construction last time. Mm-hmm. So like it's the exact, and which makes sense, right? You need electrical, right? I mean, to do all this stuff.
No, you're just going to fire pits everywhere, and everyone's going to, warm themselves by the fire in the Florida heat.
It's going to be the Flintstones. But I mean, it's worth noting though, this site, they completely cleared this site. Like it was like ready to go. Like, and it's still completely cleared. It's not like anything changed. It's still cleared. So they can start construction fairly quickly on this site if they really wanted to. I just believe it's happening. I said it before D23. I still stand by it. I think it's still going to happen. I actually tend to think that it's still going to be Reflections. I feel like they're not going to change it up. I feel like the original design was fairly well received, even though I remember seeing some people saying that they thought it looked like a dorm. But I remember the inside art was pretty incredible. Like the actual like concept art for the inside of the hotel, it looked incredible. But I don't know. Maybe they'll tweak it a little bit. I don't know.
And I mean, that's actually a good point. They probably have a good basis there from the previous stuff. And then, they'll probably just, like you said, they'll tweak it or, figure out a new angle for it. And maybe something else to think about too is, the Poly Tower is coming to completion here.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure there's been a lot of lessons learned from stuff that they've done at the Poly Tower, right? Like,
sure.
maybe that, they're going to do some revision of this resort based on things that, that they've done at the Poly, or things that they learned about, even things down to, like the rooms now having, not having disposable dishes and stuff like that. Right. Like,
yeah.
Maybe they're rethinking, or maybe the previous plan, they didn't have that factored in, like, having like dishwashers in the room and stuff like that. So, I mean,
I thought it was, sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, I thought it was interesting because DVC News does a really good job of breaking this down, and the way they put it. So recent sales numbers from Riviera suggest the property will be sold out sometime in 2027, right? Mm-hmm. The island at Disney's Island Tower at Disney's Polynesian will be opening in December. That thing is going to be sold out fast. Like,
oh yeah, it'll be like Grand Floridian. Like it'll when they release those extra Grand Floridian rooms, like it's going to be gone so quick.
Yeah, that one. I mean, he says 2 years on here. I would be surprised if it lasts that long. I feel like there's too much hype around it, and it's too good of a location. It's too good of a view. Like, I just feel like it's going to sell fast. So what they're saying here is new Disney resort projects usually take about 3 years, right? So like, let's say they start this, I don't know, before the end of the year. Let's say they start in October, right? We're talking 2027. So that would make sense considering by 2027, they may only have the cabins and of course Aulani, because Aulani will never sell out. But they may only have the cabins left as a new resort to sell. So, that it kind of makes sense that they would start building this now.
Yeah. And
so I don't know.
That brings up an interesting point. We'll have to see, or, this will be a good, I need to write a reminder for myself in like 6 months when the Poly Towers open. And so like what you're talking about with, only having the cabins available as new resorts, I have to wonder how that's going to affect the buybacks on DVC resale.
Interesting.
Right. Because if there's a space in between where there's not an immediate new resort or like Riviera is hitting like the end of its cycle or whatever, they may end up buying back a bunch more stuff like in the resale market, because they'll just want to be offering, like it won't be a, hey, we've got this new resort. They'll just be offering like, which resort do you want kind of thing. Right.
So, yeah. So that might be what they have to do
here. Yeah. Like I said, it's something to think about, I guess, for anybody that is like seriously looking at DVC in the next couple of years, this combined with, what we know right now, I have to wonder if, we've also talked about it with DVC resale market that, right of first refusal has not been it's been pretty quiet for a long time. So yeah. Like I said, I really wonder how these new resorts are going to impact that in the next couple of years.
Yeah, like you just have to believe that they're going to have to start building something soon, because if everything's going to be sold out by 2027, they need things to sell, right? So they're going to need to have something.
Again, they're going to just start buying back all the resale.
Yeah.
And that's not fun.
No, that's not fun for no, not at all.
For people that know the difference between resale and direct points, like resale, having direct points is great, but you can get a lot more for resale. And if Disney's buying back all the resale, that kind of kills that part, right?
Yeah, I mean, so just from our sponsor DVC Resale Market, in July, DVC brought back 64 contracts. Which is not a lot. No, so DVC Resale Market sold 29.25 in that period, and so that's only 2.2% buyback rate. So it's pretty small, but to your point, it could increase if they're running out of
things to think about. It's great that the new the Poly Tower is opening and all that, but like you said, I think this resort is the next resort. They will announce something here, and then, but the problem is there is a gap between when the current stuff is finished and when this new resort opens. And obviously they don't want to have a huge gap, but there may be a time in there where they're just finding resale stuff to offer people, because there are still people that are going to come to them looking for direct.
Yeah.
the part that hurts though is when they don't have like an immediate new shiny resort, they'll buy up resale to sell to people, which hurts those people trying to resell, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll have to see. Like I really expect Island Tower to sell fast, man, because that place is so hyped.
Yeah, I know that. Like as much as I know, like I talk about leave the poly alone. It's it's fine. Don't come here. It's not great.
It's terrible. Why would you ever want to come to this old?
I stay here every time I come to Disney, but don't come here. It's fine. But yeah, exactly for that is that the same thing as the Grand Floridian. The Poly Tower is going to sell out because it is new and shiny. And, there's I know there's people that, wanted to get into Poly, but didn't, it doesn't fit their family type because the studios are limiting, right? You can only get 5 people in them. So, the tower is definitely going to open it up for a lot of people. And I can see, I'm sure there's people that have been kind of waiting on the sidelines going, as soon as this is open, they're going to go after it quick, right?
Yeah. Well, to your point, the Poly was kind of cut off to families bigger than 5, right? Like before, right? Or families that just don't want to all stay in the same room, right? So,
it was either studio or bungalow. Like that was...
Yeah, that was it. That was your option.
There's no in between.
So now people that really love the Poly have a different option. And plus that option looks pretty amazing. So I mean, I don't know what the price point for it's going to be, but I tend to believe that it's going to be popular regardless. Just like
same
like you said, just like the Grand Floridian. Exactly like the Grand Floridian. They added those rooms, and those rooms sold fast. I mean,
even though like Grand Floridian is same as the Poly, like they're all like in terms of a number of points to stay per night, it's pretty high, but people still like it because it's it's still a way cheaper way to stay at these resorts versus rack rate because. Because I did the math on this recently because I had this trip coming up in May, which is me and my brother. And it wasn't so much like it was just more from like a curiosity standpoint and just to like help my brother understand exactly what we were doing because he's never stayed DVC or anything before. Like he stayed at Disney, but the last time he stayed at Disney, we stayed at the All Stars Resort. And it was like,
so he's going to have a whole new experience. Huh?
Yeah. And it was like $120 a night that we were staying there at. Like it was cheap. Like they're not like, or I think now it's what, like 140, 150 or something like that. Or actually, no, it might have been sub 100 actually. Sorry. This was like in 2006 now that I think about it.
Back then it was sub 100. Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, from his point of view, he's like, I kind of showed it to him that like, hey, for the cost of these points, if we were to book this trip, like, just out of pocket, for our budget for our trip, that would have been like right there about $4,500 just for the room, which is like because we're staying for a week, exactly. Right? And it's like, and he was like, "Oh, like okay, this is way this is way better." So
he's gonna have a whole new experience.
Yeah, exactly. Him and I've talked to him about it. Like he knows what we do and all that. It's just he's never seen it firsthand, so that'll be I don't know if it'll or like he wants to get his family there because he's the weird one that he's been to Tokyo Disney with his family, but he's not been to Florida or California
with California,
but just because of the way things worked out. He actually like it was a family thing that with his wife's side, they went to Japan and they end up going to Tokyo Disney. So his daughters know Disney, but they know it only as Tokyo Disney right now. They've never been to the North American parks, which is crazy. But yeah, so yeah,
they're going to be like, what is this? What is this themeless food? What is all this? There's no theme to this food. What?
or it'll just be haunted mansion's still there. Cool, like
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
anyway.
Anything else about that
talking
one?
About
let's go next.
Yeah, well, like I said, let's. I kind of want to put a pin. So this is 275. Well, I'll have to come back and look at this episode in like 6 months and just see what actually did happen. Because I'll be like I said, I feel like this is going to be announced in like the next 2 months, kind of thing.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I just want to revisit our D23 episode in a few months because I still think that the stuff that we had speculated on that didn't happen. I still think some of it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, right? Like I still think Figment's going to happen. I still think Bluey's going to happen in the park at some point. I know that one wasn't on anybody's radar, but I mean, Disney would be crazy at this point not to do it. It's too huge. So, I mean, I know they don't own it, but you know, I think they have the theme park rights to it.
So yeah, and I would argue, people don't remember that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were in Hollywood Studios back in the 90s.
I remember, Trevor. I remember.
I know you remember. And it was MGM. I know it was MGM.
It was MGM Studios. Yes.
I call it Hollywood Studios just not to confuse people. But
oh no, don't do that. Just call it MGM. I'm sure there's like the whole newer generation just doesn't even know that it was called MGM, so it's only ever been Hollywood Studios to them.
I call it Hollywood Studios because that's what my kid knows it as. And, if I say to him, we're going to Hollywood Studios today, if I said we're going to MGM, he would think that, we're going to Universal or something like.
That's funny. Funny. So yeah, let's really quickly, we'll talk about this Disney Destiny. So they just revealed a couple more things about this. Good.
We need a boat. Okay. People are going to get mad at me. I know they're called ships, but we need a boat song because.
Okay.
So and I'll just preface this as, I'm always down to talk about this stuff, but the cruises are a hard spot for me because of the fact that I'll never be on a cruise. So it's I don't feel it's fair for me to talk about it too much, but I feel like, the same way that Damon doesn't, talk about food and we have a song about it, we should figure out a song for talking about the boats or something.
Oh, and we can do a really fun, piratey nautical theme to that. I mean, SpongeBob theme song is where I immediately go.
SpongeBob-esque.
So I immediately go SpongeBob theme song. And that's one I can sing because I'm going to reveal something right now. But I used to do birthday parties. When I was a teenager, I was a birthday party host at an arcade, right?
Oh, wow.
And sometimes kids would get SpongeBob cakes and I would sing the entire SpongeBob theme song with the voice and everything. So because that's a voice I can do, right? So if we were going to do that song, if we came up with lyrics, I could do that. That's easy. So nobody make a meme of that. Of me singing the SpongeBob theme song in the pirate voice. All right. So Disney Destiny. So the only reason I wanted to bring this one up is, first of all, we found out that it's going to open November 20th, 2025. That is going to be the first, its maiden voyage. A little bit less than a year after the Treasure launches, the one that I'm going to be on. So, they're really kind of doing this once every year, basically launching a new ship. This is the interesting one because this is the one that's like the villains, heroes theme.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
But villains, pirate. This has got some weird intersections of stuff on it.
Yeah, I mean, so the reason I thought this was cool though, and there's not a lot of details about it, but there's like this pirates themed bar that's in it, and I just thought that was kind of cool. I mean,
we're getting that in Magic Kingdom. I wonder how
we are.
Maybe they're figuring out how to you can have it on the boat and you can also have it in the parks, right?
Yeah, and that's
this one looks a lot more classy though than the one they showed for Magic Kingdom.
The one that's going to happen in the parks feels like it's going to be a little crazy. This one feels like it's a classy officers bar,
it feels like the captain's quarters.
It does.
Of a ship. Yeah,
it's going to be called Cask and Cannon, and it's based on the Pirates of the Caribbean movies and ride, of course. But it's interesting that they're bringing ride stuff into the cruise ships more and more. Because the cruise ship I'm on has a bunch of different stuff based on rides, right? I got the 20,000 Leagues one, I've got the Haunted Mansion one, I've got the Jungle Cruise one. I'm so pumped to go to each and every one of those. But I like that they're kind of continuing to do that. So, and it's interesting here. So it says you can regale one another with your tales of the high seas adventures on an eclectic yet cozy lounge furnished with treasures acquired, aka pillaged and pilfered during the pirates' many voyages. So it feels like there's going to be random weird antiquities floating around this place, and maybe the furniture is going to be kind of offbeat and mismatched and stuff like that,
Yeah, I hope that there's I hope there's fun stuff to interact. Right, saying that there's weird treasures and stuff. I'm thinking back to this might be, or it's still there, I think, in Disneyland. So on Tom Sawyer Island in Disneyland, they actually have a pirate's cave. So like they kind of tied Pirates of the Caribbean into it. And I remember taking my son there, and there was like these little piles of gold and stuff. And if you touched them, they had little, like, it would like things, like there would be like a pirate ghost pop up, or like a hand would come down and stuff. And so, you know, I'm hoping that it's stuff like that, and it's not just like, you know, I get that they like have, you know, it's cool to have like all kinds of little things in these places, but there needs to be some interactivity to it, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, I'm on the ship, and, you know, if I'm in a pirate themed bar, I don't want to just be sitting in a bar looking around at stuff. I want it to be interesting and interactive.
So you want it to be kind of like Trader Sam's, where there's like stuff going on and like, you know,
exactly.
And like, I mean, it could be, and they did mention in here, there's going to be a menu of rare specialty and vintage rums, and that there's going to be a, quote, not so secret selection of bootlegged brews developed specifically for the venue and served straight from a barrel in true pirate style. Nice. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be actually in the barrel, not to ruin the magic for anybody, but
I mean, that you underestimate that barrel flavor. That's
true. That's true.
You know, the cask does affect the flavor.
Well, I'm just imagining to myself, like, sitting on the dock and watching them bring provisions on board, and somebody rolling an old style cask onto the, you know, like just rolling that on for the bar, you know. That would.
I don't think they'd roll them up the plank where, you know, people are boarding.
No, not when people are boarding. They you know, they bring them in the bottom of the ship. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just roll that big thing in there. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen, obviously, but. But anyway, it also
I'll
says,
laugh if they're actually doing this out of proper casks. And you'll be like, oh,
okay, cool. And then this one, it also says too that the savviest treasure hunters. The savviest treasure hunters. Don't hunt Trevor. No, the savviest treasure hunters may even uncover a mysterious trove of looted libations served in an actual treasure chest. So I'm going to guess they're going to have some sort of fun specialty drink there that they serve at a treasure chest, but who knows what that's going to be. I mean, this is still a year and a half out, so I'm sure we'll hear more about it as we get closer. But I think this is a fun idea. I'm excited to see this, and I'm also excited to see the one in Magic Kingdom too. I'm actually excited that they brought it up at D23, because I was kind of worried that maybe that one it was one of those ones they announced and then just like quietly pretended like they didn't announce, you know, because they didn't give us any details. They just announced it and then no details, right? But the fact that they talked about it at D23, definitely happening now, so, which is good. But I'm excited to check that out when it does happen. I also have to say too, this ship having a Hercules Broadway style show, that's pretty great. I would love to see a Broadway style show around Hercules.
I you know, Hercules, it's weird. Like, everybody likes Hercules, but I feel like it doesn't get enough playtime. And it had like it had great music in it. Like you have to.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't think anybody would ever like disagree that the music in Hercules was fantastic. And why don't we have, you know, more shows like that, right? Like not even on the boats, but like in the parks too, right? Like there should be more Hercules stuff.
I've had this conversation with my wife before, that Disney has an inability not to put Go the Distance in their nighttime fireworks shows. Like every nighttime fireworks show has Go the Distance, like every single one.
It's so easy. Like it's such an easy win for a fireworks show. Yeah.
It's just like every time they're like, oh, we came out with a new fireworks show. Oh, Go the Distance, and there again.
But I mean, I will admit it's one of those parts in Happily Ever After that, you know, gets you overly emotional because of the way that, you know, the way they did the arrangement of it and everything is fantastic.
I 100% agree with you. I do.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do our ad here? I feel like this is a good spot. Yeah,
we should.
Ad. All right, the sponsor of this episode is DVC Rental Store. DVC Rental Store, a World of DVC company, offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at premium Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% at the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. And as always, DVC Rental Store pays out the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home or call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 1-855-382-7368. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. All right. After Hours. What are your favorite events, Trevor?
Ooh, After Hours.
Ooh, After Hours. Yeah. So we're getting After Hours is back for 2025. Disney's announcing it now, even though we still have a full 4 months left in 2025. But you know,
I don't care because I'm already talking. So as I've already said, I have a trip coming up in May with my brother who has not done a lot of Disney stuff, and yes, this is immediately on my to-do list.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. So the events begin January 6th, Magic Kingdom, January 22nd at Hollywood Studios, February 27th at Epcot. I'm assuming we're going to get many more dates, but that's the initial dates that we're getting. Oh, wait, no, there's some more here. So let's see. Special nights will take place not during your time. It's just there's May 14th.
There's no Epcot After Hours during my trip.
Oh no,
I'm sad about that because that would actually be the potential to ride Guardians is like 7 or 8 times back to back would have been there.
Would have been cool. Yeah.
But
so for Hollywood Studios, we've got a bunch of dates January through September. Most of the months have 2 dates. There's some like July that have a bunch more dates, but
they're leaning heavy into the Hollywood Studios ones. It seems.
I mean, it's the first one they list, which is interesting.
And there's more of those dates than there are of any other dates.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay. And then at Magic Kingdom, they've got 4 dates in January, 4 dates in February, 4 dates in March, 2 dates in April, 3 dates in May, and then nothing after that. Which I get it because it gets the parks get busy once school gets out, and especially Magic Kingdom, so they probably don't want to close the park early. On those dates. I understand.
Well, that's true. Why do you suppose that they're okay with having Hollywood Studios? Or I guess maybe the answer to that is that they're like maybe they're trying to draw people away from Magic Kingdom, which actually you know what that probably coincides with is when they're going to start construction on the new area in Frontierland. So
that's a good point.
So I wonder if that's why they're leaning more into Hollywood Studios is because they're trying to take some pressure off of Magic Kingdom. Right.
Well, and especially since, if you look at what they're saying here, at Magic Kingdom, you can ride some of the most mesmerizing attractions under the night sky, like Tron, Tiana, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Space Mountain, and more. No mention of Big Thunder in there. Notice that.
Yeah.
I know it's not one of the newer things, but I feel like Big Thunder is still a marquee attraction there. So it makes me feel like it will be closed during this time. But I don't know. There's been rumor for a while now that it's going to close for an entire year. So while they do construction, so we just have to, we have to wait and see on that one. But it's interesting that they don't mention it there. And then
also, to note at Epcot. So Epcot seems to be as they stop doing them at Magic Kingdom, they start doing them at Epcot because there's only one in February in Epcot, 2 in May, and then it's June, July, August, September is all Epcot.
The May 8th one doesn't work for you guys?
No, that's right before we get there.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. It's okay, though. We'll manage. We'll figure. I have a plan. I always have a plan. But yeah, I feel like the way that they're doing these After Hours is, the first half of the year, they'll have them at Magic Kingdom. And then I think as they're getting into construction at Magic Kingdom, there's going to be both Hollywood Studios and Epcot After Hours parties going into the second half of the year.
Yeah, that is really, it's interesting how they're setting these up, I should also mention too, good.
I was just going to say no Animal Kingdom, but for anybody that wonders about this, they don't do After Hours at Animal Kingdom usually because since it is a live zoo, it's not fair to the animals to have the Animal Kingdom closes earlier because they don't want to completely wreck the animals sleep cycles, stress level, all that kind of stuff. So This is like, yeah, I don't think you'll ever see one of these happen at Animal Kingdom because, as much as we'd all love to, see how certain animals behave at night, it's also not fair to have the lights on and a bunch of noise and stuff when, some animals are, wanting to be left alone for the day.
Well, and I mean, they did have nighttime hours at Animal Kingdom for a little while, right? Remember, like once Pandora opened, they stayed open later so that people go to Pandora at night, and then they had the nighttime version of Kilimanjaro Safaris, but like they haven't really gone back.
They did,
like they haven't in a while, because they even had the nighttime show for a while, Rivers of Light, so which I actually really liked, but I know it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. So. But to everybody wondering, and if you haven't done this before, the Magic Kingdom tickets are between $175 and $185 per person. Epcot is $155 to $175, and Hollywood Studios is $155 to $185. We do get lower price tickets as if you're an AP or if you're a DVC member. You do get lower price tickets for Epcot and Hollywood Studios only. Interestingly enough, they don't give us a discount on Magic Kingdom. How dare they?
Like I said, I feel like they're trying to push people away from Magic Kingdom this next year.
I agree with you. I agree. Yeah.
Now, for anybody balking at the price of these events, I will say this because I've done these a couple of times.
You're like the biggest advocate for Disney After Hours, I feel like.
I am, because I don't think a lot, and maybe I shouldn't say this too loud because it might ruin it, but, people don't realize exactly how much you can get done in that amount of time. And also the fact that it's nighttime, which means, the ambience of the park is better, in my opinion. It's also not crazy hot. And there are free snacks too. So, I mean, take that for what it is. It's, it's not like, I wouldn't say that's like the big selling point, but, people don't realize how much that, it's, like a 4-hour event and you go, well, a whole day in the park versus 4 hours, but it's 4 hours of like super condensed, getting everything you want done. Lineups are not really a thing. Like even, we did, the last time we were there, we did the after hours party, we did Tron. And we actually, I was a bit sneaky, and I went and I talked to one of the cast members like before the event started, and I just was like, okay, how does this work? Because I know like there's not like a virtual queue, and they're like, yeah, well, if you show up here about 10 minutes before the actual party begins, we'll start letting people into the queue. So me and my son got back, and we were like the 6th people in line, nice. And we immediately got on to Tron. And then we got off and we did it again because it was like, we were like, get it in as much as we can because, especially like for people that have done, the new rides, it's hard to get lightning lanes and virtual queues and stuff. But an after hours party, when you can ride a ride like that, get your fill of it in a couple of hours. To me, that's good value. Like it leaves you feeling satisfied with, the time that you spent there. Right. So
I almost look at it, because a lot of people for a long time have wanted Disney to do what like Universal does with their fast passes where, you don't have to make the reservations, but it also costs more than a ticket, to do it. Like it's a lot more expensive than a ticket.
Prohibitively expensive intentionally because they don't want everybody doing it because then it's not a VIP thing, right?
So this is, I mean, in a way, this is the same thing just at night, right? You're paying a high premium to get a lot of stuff done in a short amount of time.
At night. Which I very much love. Like, again, I love Disney parks at night. Like,
I do too. They're the best at night.
It is. Yeah.
That's what always gets me when Damon's like, oh, I go back and I'm like, the nighttime's the best, man. There's the ambiance. Like all of my memories from when I was a kid at Disney are from nighttime. Right. Like, because I just you remember like the like you said, the ambiance, like the music that's playing as you're leaving, the lights in the tiles at Epcot, the Main Street Electrical Parade, like that stuff you just remember, like and it just, there's just something about everything lit up and the way that they present everything at night that just makes it totally different and unique. And that's why I love it. So,
for me, it's, a couple of years ago now, but, there was a point where we were standing in Adventureland and there was nobody else. Like it was like towards the end of an after hours event, and Adventureland had pretty much cleared out because everyone was like trying to get in their last, stuff on Seven Dwarfs and whatever. So that whole, like the whole Adventureland side of the park was pretty much empty. And you'll never get that experience, during the day of like, standing in the middle of a Disney park, looking around and like, we had free ice cream because, that's part of the event. So, we're all standing there eating, ice cream or I had the strawberry pops because I don't do the ice cream, but yeah, just looking around being like, this place is actually really beautiful when there's nobody here.
Well, yeah, and I did that one time, because there was a time that Magic Kingdom had extra magic hours till 2 a.m., right? Like that was not that long ago, really, but like pre-pandemic. But there was a time that we went one night. Actually, it was my first DVC trip. We decided to stay in Magic Kingdom till 2 a.m. We made it till about 1:30, to be totally honest. we all get a little tired.
Two is rough for sure.
Two's rough. But 1:30 in the morning at Magic Kingdom, there's nobody there. It is absolutely dead. We rode Big Thunder like 10 times in a row. We rode, Seven Dwarfs Standby like 4 or 5 times in a row. But like you said, it's an experience you can't really get, where you just have this empty park and there's absolutely no one that you feel like a zombie apocalypse happened while you were, on Big Thunder, and you're like, wait, but where is everyone?
Or it's just like, or you just feel very, very VIP, like, this is my space right now.
It's my park now. This is my park now.
I own this right now. I know I would never say I own a park, but right now this is my space.
Now called Tom World and Tom Kingdom.
This is Trevorland. Enjoy
Trevorland. Anyway, so those are coming back. So I'm sure you're happy. It's just unfortunate that it doesn't really meld with your dates, but
well, a couple of them do. So there is a Hollywood Studios and a Magic Kingdom date that do jive with ours. So
okay,
I'll be discussing those with my brother because the Hollywood Studios one has honestly never been on my to-do list, but I might consider it this time. Because I'm with my brother and he's never done this stuff, and I feel like I would not spend nearly the amount of time in Hollywood Studios that I do in Magic Kingdom, but that's just me.
I could see that. I mean, unless you're like a huge like Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror fan, or you want to ride Slinky Dog, you should still do Rise of the Resistance though. You still need you need to do that.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
that has to happen.
That might be my reason to finally get on Rise, because we didn't do it on our last trip. So
yeah, you'll definitely do that with your brother for sure. All right. So all right. Should we move on to the next thing here?
Disneyland news.
Disneyland. Yeah.
So
we're talking about Christmas already.
Yeah, I was going to say last week we talked about how it was all Halloween, but now, hey, the Christmas stuff is out.
There's actually still more Halloween coming up here.
Of course.
Yeah, food talk for Halloween. So,
all right.
So Disneyland.
But yeah, so they're showing off. This is a weird blog post. I don't like when they do this, where it's like here's a little bit of merch, we're showing like Main Street, like it's like everything mashed into one, which I kind of get, like it's a blog post, but I like it better when they split it out, like talk about the merch, talk about the food and stuff like that, right? But
yeah, I get what you're saying. So this post is so basically the holiday season starts at Disneyland November 15th through January 6th. It's a little bit different than Disney World, where the holiday season basically starts as soon as Halloween's over. So and they they do that transition pretty quickly, but they start November 15th here. They do have some new things, it looks like. So there's going to be, let's see, it's going to be cookie decorating, craft making, storytelling at the Fantasyland Theater. So
okay.
That sounds like fun.
That's not bad. I feel like, because the Fantasyland Theater's not actively running any shows right now.
Yeah.
That's sad, because the show they had there was actually really good.
Mickey
and the Magical Map was the last show that I saw there. I don't think there was one after that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, should bring it back. So they also shared some ornaments here, but I mean, okay. There's going to be the good.
They're not great ornaments. They're just say like they look like it's cool that they've done like the retro cartoony look on them, but they are just flat pictures. Like again,
basic.
This is the chocolate wafer on the food, but in ornament form.
Yeah, but they're going to have something called Chip and Dale's Ornament Trail, which will be at Downtown Disney, where you can search for special ornaments hidden among the holiday trees. So, okay, that's kind of fun.
And then at the end, you get a collectible holiday keepsake, which these things are usually not like super amazing, but it's usually like, for what it is, you do a little scavenger hunt and then you get
unless these ornaments are the keepsake. Unless these ornaments are the keepsake, and that's why they're kind of not that great.
That's fair.
I'm betting maybe that's what it is. You get one of these ornaments after you go through and find all those for the scavenger hunt. So, what else we got here, Trevor?
Tumbler. The tumbler's kind of it looks okay.
I like the Mickey gingerbread cookie. That's pretty cool. Do you like gingerbread? You're a gingerbread guy?
I do. Yeah. Oh yeah. I like good gingerbred for sure. As long as it's not dry.
That's the problem, right? Sometimes you get really dry gingerbread.
I didn't think about this before, but Mickey gingerbread men should be more of a thing in the parks for sure.
They really should. It's not that difficult, right?
It is.
Just throw some beers. So I was playing kitchen with my daughter earlier. Mm-hmm. She likes to run a fake restaurant, take my order, take money from me, and then go make food. And she's like, what do you want? And I was like, well, what do you have? She goes, breakfast. And I said, okay, well, I'll take some Mickey pancakes. She's like, I don't have Mickey pancakes. And I'm like, kid, they're just 3 circles. Okay. Just make 3 circles and make them look like Mickey. And she's like, I just don't have them. And I'm like, okay. I was trying to
maybe she was aware of the licensing implications of.
Yeah. She was worried about being sued. Yeah. She was worried about being sued by Disney. They're very legit.
I imagine Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
So, still on food, but so they are doing the gingerbread houses again this year at. It says at all 3 of the hotels.
Okay.
So there will be one at the Disneyland Hotel, at the Grand Californian, and at Pixar Place. So I wonder.
Nice.
I assume they'll all be different in theme to their respective hotels. But those are always great. Like, when you walk into a lobby and it just smells like gingerbread, like
I totally agree.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's one of my, that might be my favorite holiday thing at the parks is the gingerbread houses. Because they're so intricate and so detailed and they're just so well done. It's just feels very classic Disney to me,
Yeah. Yeah. It's very much a labor of love, not just Yeah. Like it's very, very technically detailed and whatnot, but you can tell that the people that are doing those gingerbread houses care a lot about what they're doing, which is nice.
Absolutely it's an art, right? So so what else is new in here? I'm trying to see what else is new because they said there's some new stuff, but it looks like there's a lot of returning stuff.
Well, there is one big new thing that's happening at the start of the the holiday stuff is Tiana's Bayou Adventure is opening in Disneyland Park.
That's right. It's not very holiday oriented, but
it doesn't matter. But it's they're finally going to get it on the West Coast. So anybody that's wondering about if you've got a trip to Disneyland planned, hopefully it's after November 15th, so you can ride Tiana's.
I'll be interested to see if it's an exact copy. I'm assuming it will be.
It's not.
But no. I mean,
guarantee you it's not
the new ride. If it's an exact copy, I know the ride is different at the actual Splash Mountain ride is slightly different at Disneyland. Right. So I'm wondering if they'll do the same storyline, same effects and everything, or if they will switch it up a little bit.
Well, the thing is that the ride is, because the ride is different. Yeah. The pace, like where things are in the ride, it doesn't line up like in terms of the storytelling between the 2 rides. So I don't think that they can, I would be impressed actually if they can fit in the stuff that they did in Florida into the Disneyland version, because they are actually more limited on space in the Disneyland version.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how that turns out, right? Because I'll be interested to see the differences. So, all right. Cool. Yeah. I think that's all we got for the holidays, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's barely September, and we're already at Christmas. But.
Listen, it's not my fault that Disney's already talking about the holidays. It is what it is. So another piece of Disneyland news: they announced new shops and eateries coming to Downtown Disney,
including
a superhero store,
an Avengers Reserve is what it's called.
Yeah, with Spider-Man on the sign outside. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad that they're still doing that because it felt like, back when Florida had Downtown Disney, like all the shops were very themed, right? Like there was, I'm thinking of like Candy Cauldron's still like that, where you walk by and it's very clearly like Candy Cauldron, and it feels like a lot of the newer stuff is kind of just turned into like generic mall fronts, right? Like it's not like
you're just basically talking about creations. Like
not creation specific, but like in Downtown Disney. Like if you look, like if you're walking through, if you're walking through Disney Springs, there's not a lot of like interesting storefronts. But in Downtown Disney, it looks like they're trying to bring that back a little bit. This Avengers one is kind of nice. I don't like the lattice thing they have going on behind it, because that does seem to carry into a couple of the different stores.
There's hidden Mickeys though.
Yeah, but it's too busy. Like it's too small of a pattern for me. Like it just looks like static is the best way I can describe it. Like I don't see any of the details because there's too much.
It looks like it's like what they use all across Downtown Disney, though, right? Like it looks like it's a consistent design.
I don't recall seeing that design.
I'm just saying in the two pictures I'm seeing here of the two shops, it's the same. But
looking at Avengers Reserve and D-Lander, which is the other shop that seems to have the same patterning to it, I don't like that lattice. Is all. Like it's not. Yeah. It's not that it's wrong. It's just I feel it's a little too busy.
I do like that this Avengers store has a giant Incredible Hulk statue on the outside that you can go take pictures with. Like that's going to be a good photo op right there.
Oh, totally. Yeah, and that was part of it too. Like that was the thing in back in the day, was that a lot of these shops had like I know when you're on vacation you don't necessarily want your photo ops are not in front of the stores, but it's nice as you're walking through this space. Yeah, like you said, there's going to be like. Kids will definitely be stopping and taking pictures in front of the Hulk there, because why wouldn't you, right?
I mean, who wouldn't take a picture in front of the Hulk? Like that would be like the first thing I would do.
Yeah, totally. So that it's good that they're doing that. Like I said, the D-Lander it's a more, it says it's her stylish new collections is what it's supposed to feature, which I don't know exactly
what that means.
Yeah. Like, is this, yeah, I don't know.
I do like that it has like the sign on it has a very classic, like department store vibe on it from like the, from like the 50s. Like
it looks, the D is from like the classic Disneyland.
Yeah. It's the classic Disneyland. So, yeah.
So yeah, they're bringing that back, which is nice. So yeah, maybe it'll be more classic looking Disney stuff. And then what's this next one? Marceline's Confectionery. Oh, okay.
To turn into Disney's Wonderful World of Sweets. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like a sweet shop. That's always a good. Yeah.
Marceline's like, it was a good, it's like Candy Cauldron, right? But,
yeah.
So yeah, it's nice that they're kind of, I feel like they kind of realized that, Marceline's Confectionery didn't really click with anything Disney, whereas Disney's Wonderful Worlds of Sweets, that's appealing to everybody who watched Wonderful World of Disney growing up.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that it has that logo that uses the old D, but just also it seems like the vibe of it is very like 50s department store too. Like that they didn't just make the logo that they did, a bunch of different stuff with it. So,
and it should be like that should be Downtown Disney. Now here's a weird one.
Oh God, I already hate this.
Okay. So there is a cart coming to Downtown Disney which kawaii slime. Yeah, kawaii. Yeah.
So, I think it's kawaii, but I'm not sure. Kawaii?
Yeah, it's kawaii.
Because you're thinking Hawaii, so it's kawaii.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Which means cute in Japanese. And so it's a cute slime cart, which you buy buckets of slime, I guess.
So when I first saw this, I thought it was food.
Yeah. I don't like, I know that people like slime and all that. And like, I don't get it. Like, yeah.
Listen, my daughter got some slime from somewhere, and I was like, I'm like, we're throwing this away immediately. Like, get it out of my house. Like, it's so gross. And like, it's just awful. I mean, I remember as a kid having like the Nickelodeon slime, right? Like I remember I had that, you know?
Yeah. And like the Ghostbusters toys all had like slime.
Yeah.
With it. Right. So yeah, fair. Like, I guess when I was a kid, I had the Ghostbuster toys and, use the slime, but this new stuff, it seems like it's like a whole thing with different textures, and I don't want any of that. It's funny that like, I guess, somebody realized that there is definitely a market for it, and it's just weird, like, with everything else Disney, and then you have like a Japanese slime cart,
slime vendor.
Like that, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just I don't see the connection. Like I mean, I guess this could be in like any mall, right? Like it's just weird that they're just like throwing it into downtown Disney.
I'm telling you right now, Trevor, if we were walking by that, I would like body block my daughter from seeing it. I'd like turn towards it so she couldn't even see that it existed. Because otherwise she'd be like, "Oh, I want some slime. I'm gonna go get something filled with glitter so I can get it all over your house and your clothes."
Ooh, glitter. Yeah, no.
Yeah. No. So I would pretend like this doesn't exist, or I'd, be like, "Oh, it's closed."
So the trick is that there are like, you have to like figure out ways to, like, downtown Disney is kind of like there's like a single main road, but you could also like, figure out ways, or depending on where it is in downtown Disney, either don't go near it or, figure out other ways to get to where you need to go. But so there is actually, or, the monorail in Disneyland connects at the far end of downtown Disney and actually goes to Tomorrowland in Disneyland. So you could actually, like, if you wanted to go to something on the far end of downtown Disney and this was in the middle, you could get on the monorail, go and do what you need to do, and then get back on the monorail and go back into Disneyland.
I like it.
And just
I like it.
Pretend that this cart doesn't exist.
I love it.
I know. Okay, so just so everyone's clear, we're making fun of this, but it is, definitely people will enjoy this. And we're not saying that it's bad. It's just neither of us like the idea of slime, and especially like. The other part about this too is that, obviously, kids or people are buying this stuff, and then guaranteed, like, your kid is cracking it open, like, as you're walking into the park. Like, I don't want to be dealing with that when I'm on vacation, or even like back in my hotel room, like guaranteed it's like, oh, the kid left the slime on the pillow, and it like, no. It's just,
I'm with you.
It's bad.
I'm totally with you. I don't love it. But the other thing that they have going on here is a steakhouse and barbecue restaurant from a Michelin star chef. So that's fancy. You get like
very fancy.
Very fancy. There's going to be these are two different eateries. There's a steakhouse and then there's a barbecue place, which, listen, I'm a big barbecue guy. I love barbecue. So I would definitely hit that up. I don't know what a Michelin star barbecue place is like, but I mean, I guess just because he's a Michelin star chef doesn't mean he has to, the barbecue restaurant's going to be Michelin star,
Yeah. But I mean, as far as barbecue goes, it's the standard, like, pulled pork, brisket, wings, that Michelin star or not, I'm sure it's going to be good.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. And then, I've never been to Earl of Sandwich, but I always hear people say it's like really great. Yeah. It's just never come up as an opportunity,
Oh, we've eaten there quite a lot.
Like, I know. I always hear people rave about it, and
that was our go-to for a while, and especially in downtown Disney. And so they've redone Earl of Sandwich. It looks, it's
Yeah.
It's
a
nice.
New concept. It's a new concept.
Yeah. It's this new design, which is very much just a square white box. And
but on the inside, it's kind of fun though. It said it's an homage to the swinging '60s British invasion pop bands from the UK. So it's got like all sorts of fun stuff on the inside.
Yeah. The inside definitely has that cool '60s. Was that Art Deco style? I guess is that '60s.
Yeah.
So the inside is definitely a lot more interesting. The problem is like the outside. I feel like to your point about you've never eaten there. The outside is very easy to walk by and not even look at because it's.
Oh, I agree.
It's just a square white box. Yeah,
it's a square white box with some orange accents floating around there. Yeah, no, you're right. Listen, Earl of Sandwich is on my list. I just don't think we've ever been in Disney Springs for lunch.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like we're not people that frequent Disney Springs, right? Like we just aren't. Like we don't go out of our way to do it because I don't really like to shop, and my wife's not a big shopper either, really. So I guess
the reason we always end up there, or we have ended up there a lot, is that what we usually do is like on our last day, we kind of plan it that as we are going through the parks, we make note of stuff that we want to get, and then we go to Disney Springs and kind of like we spend a morning shopping there, like on our last day before we leave. And then after we're done shopping, we'll usually get lunch and then go back to the hotel and then, go to a park later in the day kind of thing. So I get you though, is, if you're not big on shopping, you don't really have much of a reason to be there. So you're not going to go there specifically for Earl of Sandwich.
Exactly.
But, and it's the same thing in Disneyland. Like the reason we've gone to Earl of Sandwich is for the same thing. Is it's like, I feel it's a good, every time we've gone to Disneyland, it's like when we get there, we'll usually get there like in the afternoon, and it's like we'll go there for dinner because it's quick and easy, and it's being that it's in downtown Disney and we're usually staying at one of the Disney hotels, it's accessible and it's different than a quick service, right? Like quick service kind of has like there is the quick service places in the hotels, but that's kind of the basic stuff. And the Earl of Sandwich sandwiches, there's some interesting selections there, right? So,
Listen, I'm not above a good sandwich. I love sandwiches. I'm a big sandwich guy. So I would love. I do really want to go here. I do.
I think you would really enjoy it. And like I said, the redo of it is, like I said, the inside is good. Like definitely, I think they hit the mark with the inside, but the outside, I guess the white is, it stops or it reflects heat, so maybe it stops the place from getting too hot. I don't know.
All right, yeah.
But it's just like even the sign is very like it's just basic block letters, and I don't know. I feel like whoever designed that didn't actually think about like how to attract people to a restaurant.
Maybe, I don't know. It's a good point.
Like it's so boring.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right.
Anything else with this one?
No, I think that's enough Disneyland stuff. So we got more food.
Well,
do you want?
We got one last thing, Trevor.
All right, let's do it.
What time is it? Food time. What time is it? Food time. Damon's not here, so our mission is clear. It's food time. Food time. Team food is ready unless it has dairy because it's food time. Food time. With Tom and Trevor, this will take forever because it's food time. Food time. Food and wine. We have the time because it's food time. Food time.
As I was listening to it, I'm like, this is really long. I wonder how many people just skip over this, but whatever.
But hey, it's a good lead-in for this is the food section. So get ready. We're going to talk about food some more.
Specifically, more Halloween stuff, but this time at Disney Springs.
Yes, which
always has fun stuff.
Yeah, I will admit, I back to your point about you don't spend a lot of time at Disney Springs. I feel like or again, when I'm there, it's like the morning. Like I don't want to go eat chocolate cake at like 9 a.m. I know there's no law against that. I just don't want to do that.
Just what to deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so they do have a lot of cool stuff going on at Disney Springs this year. Like right off the bat, at Emirates,
they always have Emirates always has like the coolest stuff.
Yeah. So I'm not a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan, but these eclairs look really good, even though they did do the
chocolate
printed
piece on top.
Printed chocolate piece on top. But outside of that, the eclairs look delicious. And you have the choice between the Jack or the Sally one, which is, kind of cool. They're giving, 2 different flavors of eclairs. And then this petite cake. Holy
Madame Leota.
Wow, that is a very cool petite cake.
So we'll describe it to you here, but I'll also put this picture out there. So it's a petite cake. It has like the like a little I don't know, what would you call it, mat or carpet or whatever under it. It has a bunch of small candles, and then it has the Madame Leota. It's not floating, obviously, but it's sitting on the table.
The ball. It looks like a sugar glass. Ball. Yeah.
And it has her face in it, and it looks incredible. Yeah. I should also mention too that it's layers of chocolate chiffon, caramel mousse, and crushed pretzels, which also sounds
that's
amazing.
So perfect. It's that sweet and savory, like
I love crushed pretzels and stuff. Yeah, especially when you do the hot the salty and sweet. Oh, love salty and sweet. Yeah. So that one's awesome. That one is really cool.
And similarly, the wilting rose also looks really good.
It does, yeah.
So chocolate biscuit with dark chocolate mousse and raspberry sauce. Raspberry I feel like gets a bit of a pass. I don't generally like, fruit in with my chocolate, but the presentation on this, like that red rose, just looks fantastic.
It looks amazing. It looks real.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like you can peel the leaves off it.
And it's like a wilting rose. So they got like the effect of, if you leave roses out and they start to die, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, crazy. And then the last one, this is like the like 4th place runner up of the full selection.
But it still looks good though. It still looks good. It's just not as good as the others.
But the Halloween Minnie Mouse dome is just a basic dome cake with the chocolate ears and a little candy hat and the bow.
Listen, it's more than just throwing something on top of it, though. But you're right.
I guess it's not like the chocolate wafer thing that they did on the eclairs, but it's just funny next to you have these other 2 amazing looking pieces, and then there's I guess it's a mini thing. If you want a mini cake, that's cool.
I kind of wouldn't even want to eat the Madame Leota thing because it looks so cool. Like I would feel bad about it. Like,
I feel bad for about a second, but
and then once I hit the caramel and the pretzel, then I'd be good.
Yeah. I wonder how hard that. Like, I want to eat the little the ball.
You want to eat Madame Leota's head? What?
I feel like, it's like, it's like biting the ears off of your Easter bunny, right? But
that's true.
I wonder if I would like chip a tooth on that because
you might.
Yeah.
you very well might. What else we got here? We got a pumpkin shake over at Deluxe Burger. I've never actually been over there. Then Dockside Margaritas has some margaritas that are like Granny Smith or something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jack Lindsay has another place I've wanted to go, by the way, and have not had a chance to go to is Jack Lindsay's Hangar Bar. I've heard good things about it, and I feel like I always walk by it, and I'm just, whenever I'm in Disney Springs, and I'm like, oh, that looks fun, and then I just never go there. But they've got a couple fun drinks as well. We usually don't talk alcoholic drinks generally, but there's like a mudslide thing and like some sort of pumpkin spice thing.
Yeah, a pumpkin spice old fashioned if you want an old fashioned, and a creepy mudslide. Which creepy mudslide does not sound good at all.
Okay, so you want to talk about lazy though? All they did was throw two gummy worms in the top, and then that made it creepy. What? Like if it was like bright red colored and I had to drink it, okay, then creepy.
Yeah.
This they just like did a regular mudslide and threw some gummy worms on top of it and goes, oh, creepy. This is like kindergarten creepy level, when you'd make like the dirt, whatever that was called.
Yeah, dirt and worms, yeah.
It's like that's the level. No offense to Jock Lindsay's, but do better.
yeah. If it's going to be creepy, make an effort. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have another place I wanted to stop too. There's that little bubble waffle place, and so there's a Mickey's Pumpkin Waffle Sundae. This one is kind of what we've been talking about, where they just threw a chocolate Mickey pumpkin on top of this thing.
I will give them credit though that the actual waffle has Mickey heads in the bubbles.
It does.
So that there is a little bit of effort there.
I will say though, the Swirls on the Water Maleficent cone is very well themed, right? So it's
that is super well themed. Yeah,
it is. It's a black vanilla cone. So the cone itself is black, first of all, and it's filled with pistachio and purple cheesecake soft serve, and it has chocolate horns on it. It's very cool looking. I don't know if I'd eat that because I'm not a big pistachio fan, and I also don't know what purple cheesecake means. Like, that's not a flavor.
The color purple as a flavor.
Yeah, that's what is this, Gatorade? Like,
it's the purple flavor.
It's purple flavor. Yeah, but what? Pistachio and purple cheesecake. What?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's just pistachio cheesecake and it's just half of it is colored purple. I don't know, but they should clarify. They should clarify that.
I mean, it's still cheesecake flavored. It's just maybe you're just getting purple dye cheesecake. I don't know.
Exactly. And then the ganachery, which always has the coolest stuff.
Yeah. Another good one, like amarettes.
Those two are like the kings of the holiday. I mean, just any sweets in general. They're the best. Yeah. So we have first the pecan ganache square, which is a toasted caramel pecans blended with milk chocolate, and that one's pretty basic. That's not even really all that Halloween themed outside of
it's just basic ganache squares, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I guess they have two. There's a pecan ganache square and then a pumpkin chai ganache square.
Okay,
so
that's
I guess
a little more Halloween-y. Yeah.
But then these Oogie Boogie chocolate toffee bites.
Those look cool.
It's with the dice and everything like that. Yeah.
Those are really cool. I would get those. There's chocolate spiders going on in there too. Like that's pretty cool. I like that. Oh, and so Ganachery is known for their piñatas, their chocolate piñatas. I did one time, which was a lot of fun because they give you a mallet and you just beat the heck out of this thing, and and there's chocolates on the inside, but also the chocolate on the outside is good. But this is a pumpkin Mickey chocolate piñata, and it looks. I mean, they textured it like a pumpkin. It's amazing.
Now, would you feel bad about breaking this one?
Yes, I felt bad about the other one that I did with the mallet because at first we gave it to my daughter, and my daughter was just kind of tapping it. And I'm like, no, kid, you got to hit this thing, And so she hands it over to me, and I went at it. They're harder to break than you think they would be, right? Like they're a lot thicker than you think. But once you get in there, it's a lot of fun to break it apart. I think I still have the mallet. Actually, I think I kept it. I don't know why. Like, what am I going to use a mallet for?
It's a souvenir.
Yeah. But what am I going to do with it? Okay.
Hit more chocolate.
Hit more chocolate with it. That one's pretty cool. And then there's the Jack Skellington cinnamon ganache square, a Sri Lankan cinnamon with milk chocolate. That's a very specific type of cinnamon right there.
Now I will say I do appreciate that it looks like they've made like a Jack Skellington stamp for these. So it's not just like a flat printed chocolate. There is they've stamped each of these with the Jack Skellington face, which that needs to happen more with. Yeah, because it looks awesome. Because it's embossed, right? It looks very, it's textured and all that. So those are very cool.
That doesn't fall under our lazy category. I don't think that those look.
No.
Yeah.
It as a presentation wise, those definitely look like they put some effort into it, right? But of course, this is the ganachery, so you would expect it. But they could have actually taken the easy way and done a printed one too. I know printing stuff, it still takes a little bit of work, but I feel like it's the cheap way to mass produce this stuff, right?
100%.
So, yeah.
It feels like they didn't put their art into it. It feels like they just kind of throw it into a printer. And
you can grab any image. It's like, oh, Disney's got like, millions of images of things. You can just grab any image, put it on a chocolate and go, hey, it's a Disney thing, right? Like, hey, whereas this Disney. Is like, somebody actually had to take time to like make this stamp or make these designs and stuff, right? So
yeah, I also want to mention too, they have a Hitchhiking Ghost chocolate chiller, which is not pictured, but it's a chilling blend of 3 chocolates, malted milk, and cream. That is something I would get immediately. That sounds delicious. I know there's milk in there, but that might be worth it, man. That sounds amazing.
That might be a maybe thing. Like, end of the day, I'm not going anywhere else. I'm going immediately back to my hotel room. I might have one.
There you go. Yeah. I think that's it. I mean, unless you want to talk about one of these kind of like basic shakes over here, but I mean, there's nothing really too cool over there. There's the gelato stand, but
yeah, none of these are new. So yeah, I don't think we really need to like, obviously they love returning stuff that they've done previous years. So
yeah,
there's nothing else really there to talk about. So I think that's it for today.
I think I'll wrap this up, huh?
Yeah.
Let's do it then.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not going to be another 2-hour episode, but I think we've done a couple of those. So
yeah, we're tired.
Yeah, we need to take a break.
I thought it was funny that your wife was saying in the Facebook group she wanted more long episodes because I'm like, my wife specifically told me today, don't make it be another 3-hour episode again, and I was like, okay, I'll try.
Okay, so my wife likes it from the angle of she's always listens to the shows like as she's driving to and from work, so it gives her like
something
like to, her like it's enough that like she can get through like a couple of days will get her through the episode because her commute's not super long, so she like listens to chunks of the episode. So she likes it because it gives her something to listen to for like the whole week. So she's approaching it as a listener, whereas yes, I understand your wife wants your time with your family, so we shouldn't be taking up too much of our time with this. So yeah, there is a balance there.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
so
I mean, my wife also says the same thing to me about, if we're doing this for, 2.5, 3 hours, she's like, oh yeah, I didn't have anything else to do today.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's funny.
We shouldn't be super long on every episode, but sometimes we have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there was something we missed this week too, and I don't know what it is. I feel like there was some news item that came out and I just completely missed it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess if there is, people can always tell us in the group or on the Discord because
yeah.
So I guess to that end, we'll start wrapping it up here. So yeah, if you guys have anything that you want to share with us, or you want to share your own trip reports or whatever, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. And we love hearing from you guys. Or if you got questions about stuff that we talked about on the show, we'll take those questions there. But we also have a Facebook group, which you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. Our Facebook group is Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. And we are also on YouTube and Instagram. YouTube is Welcome Home Podcast. Instagram is Welcome Home Pics. So, there's lots of places you can reach out to us and, ask us questions or, talk about what you heard on the show. We also do have a store. So, to help support keeping the show running, we do sell merch. So you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com. Check out our different merch, t-shirts and mugs and all the usual stuff that you would find in a store. And then also we do have a Patreon. So again, we use the Patreon as a means of keeping the show running too. And you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod. Check out our different levels of Patreon support. Our Patreon supporters have access to exclusive merch that you cannot get on the main store. It is an exclusive logo that we designed specifically for our Patreon listeners. And our Patreon listeners also get access to the Discord server, which we talked about earlier, that is, just another place that we talk about stuff on the show and, upcoming Disney news and sometimes just weird random stuff, which, is always fun too. It's just a great place to, get everybody to come and chat about stuff. So, if those things are of interest to you, please go check it out. Also, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or what's that new one, Tom, that one of our listeners gave to us.
Was it Pocket Cast, I think?
Yeah. Pocket Cast, yes. So, leave us a 5-star review on any platform that you're listening to us on. It does help more people find the show because, we want to have more listeners. We want more people to find and enjoy the show. And you can also write us a review on any platforms that will let you write a review. Please share those reviews. We do look at them. We do get notified we don't get notified, but we have means of seeing where we've gotten reviews about the podcast. And, we love hearing what you guys think about the show. And I don't know that have we had any new ones? I think, we're kind of in that space where, we don't get a lot of reviews because it was summertime.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any new ones right now. So, but yeah, we would read them if there were new ones. So yeah,
get on it, people. Write us a review.
Yeah, maybe Damon will give you a backpack if. Yeah, right.
One of his backpacks specifically, not the ones he's sending us. One of his backpacks.
Yeah, no, he's going to give you one of his backpacks after.
He's going to be mad when people start talking about this.
It has to be a positive review, though. It's got to be a positive one. It can't be a negative one. We're not going to give you that. Oh, you know what? I wanted to bring up really quickly, Trevor. Did you see that Disneyland is spending $600,000 to fix a piece of the Jungle Cruise?
Really?
In Disneyland? Yeah. Apparently, the Jungle Cruise tiger scene is crumbling. It's falling apart. So, and they're spending $600,000 to fix it. That was the one news article I saw. I forgot to put in there, but whatever. It's not a big deal.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's kind of cheap, I guess, for replacing the tiger. I feel, but
I think they're replacing all of the stuff around it. So that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right. Yeah.
So we don't really need to talk about that, but. What you should not forget to do is subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, any podcast app out there. You can listen to us. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult with a DVC representative or a Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you, as always, to our sponsor, DVC Rental Store and World of DVC, for continuing to be fantastic partners to the show. Please check them out for your DVC needs. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl. Look out,